Hello and welcome to another episode of GameHammer Daily here in the game room with all of the gaming goodness. What are we talking about today? Well, I think you'll enjoy it because it's one of the big AAA titles from back in the day. Back in 1991, you wanted this game, I wanted this game, everyone wanted this game. It is, of course, HeroQuest, and we're going to review it on the Amstrad CPC. Let's take a look. Created in 1991, 2 years after the original board game, HeroQuest is a turn-based tactical warfare and exploration game in a role-playing style. It's actually a very engaging game. You wouldn't think that a board game that requires multiple people to play would translate very well to the computer, but HeroQuest proves that it's possible. With a game style very similar to the previous Laser Squad that had already come out and demonstrated that a tactical experience can work very, very nicely on a home computer, HeroQuest refines the idea. This game is kind of linear, but also kind of non-linear. There's a set path through the game which tells a story for your adventurers to follow, but you can take on any aspect of the game at any point, except for one mission. The final mission expects you to have a sword that is gained from a mission earlier on in the game, about 2 or 3 games earlier. So when you're playing, you have to take that into account. However, for the rest of the game, you're free to play any of the missions in any order that you so choose. Although, as you might expect, the ones at the start are easier than the ones at the end. The standard characters are here: the barbarian, the wizard, the elf, and the dwarf. They're all here. They all have their set ways of playing, with the barbarian being very much a barge in and slash things kind of character, whereas the wizard, you'll want to hold back a little bit more and try using magic. It is the standard thing that you would expect from HeroQuest, and actually it's rather good in that respect. What isn't good is the graphical display on the Amstrad version. Now, by the time that HeroQuest came out, Amstrad users were very much expecting the majority of the AAA titles, which HeroQuest was, to essentially be a Spectrum port. And that's what we got with HeroQuest. I really wish we hadn't, because the Amstrad is capable of so much more than what we got here. But it's very deeply blue, with a few highlights here and there on certain areas, but mostly you're going to have a single colour, and you're just going to have to stick with it, even though the Amstrad can put 16 colours on screen at once. And in 1991, the Amstrad Plus was out, which could do 4096 colours on screen at once if you wanted. Now, here's the thing. It won't stop you enjoying the game. It's a very deep, very atmospheric game that has a lot going for it. But because it's one colour, you can't always tell where the controls are. You control the majority of the game by clicking on graphical icons around the isometric display. But you can't tell them from the background unless you know what you're looking for. On other versions, you can spot those icons straight away. The Spectrum version, you can play that just fine. It's got the images and you can play. The Amstrad version, it all just blends into one thing. So it's very hard to tell what's what and what's where. That's a downside. It's a major downside too. The Amstrad can do so much better. What we should have had here is a couple more days. That's all it would have taken to tweak the graphics, put a few more colours in, make it a bit more Amstrad-y than Spectrum. But unfortunately, the Amstrad was the third player in a 2-horse race when it came to the 8-bit home computers of the time. So we got what we were given and we were grateful for it. That's pretty much how people saw us. All in all though, I've played this game for years upon years and I've never got sick of it. It's a fun game. Sometimes it can get a little slow. For example, once you've done the mission and you've got to get back to the way out, that can be a bit annoying because you're still going and you're still playing the game, but there's nothing else to fight, there's nothing else to deal with, all the traps have been found, so it just becomes a slog. Aside from that, the game is excellent. If there was a way to just stop after you completed the mission and get back out, that would be so good. If it could detect that all the monsters are gone, then you just moved, that would be so great. But what it is what it is, and in the end, I still had a huge amount of fun with this. So the Amstrad version I can recommend, despite the fact that it is a specky port, and it's an egregious specky port in many ways. It's still a lot of fun. There's a lot here to like. It's HeroQuest. If you like HeroQuest, you're going to love this game. If you don't like HeroQuest, but you like tactical games, give it a try. You might find something here that you enjoy as well. It's well worth giving your time to. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Bit of a short one, but we are just coming back from an illness, so that's kind of what happens sometimes. I hope you have enjoyed it though, and do tune in for tomorrow's, where we'll be doing something a little bit different. But until then, I've been Zoe Kirk Robinson. You've been watching GameHammer Daily. Take care, happy gaming. I'll see you tomorrow. If you like the show, please consider supporting me on Patreon. It really does help create future videos. That's patreon.com/Zoe Kirk Robinson. And I've got an extra special thanks going out to Chief89, Sam Yates, Retro Mickey82, Mo Henry, and George Bortorini. Thank you so much, guys.